Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Runbuck on Games. I'm Runbuck. Got another 3-star Locksmith for you. This time I'm not actually attempting it on a base that I faced in war. Instead, I'm taking a spin on a pretty popular internet base that works pretty well. I call it the peanut base. Here it is. See the peanut in the middle? Right? See the peanut? But anyway, sometimes you'll see this with multis, sometimes you'll see it with singles. I'm going to go ahead and test it with singles and iterate off that. I did an initial set of 14 iterations on it where I tried to start, as usual, because I'm a fanboy of the bowler walk. I tried to bowler walk from, I think, was it here? Yeah, I tried to bowler walk this direction and then basically wall break in, king forward run, and then turn. And it didn't really, I couldn't consistently get penetration into the mid with that. And part of that was the bowler walk, and there was some, I never really lost bowlers this way, but it just didn't feel right. So I started tinkering around with different things, and finally, of course, I came back to old bread and butter with the Queen Warden from down here. And that's what you'll see some of the test runs with. Let's go ahead and look at some of the ones that didn't work, I guess, first, and I'll show you the final ones that did. I think I iterated in total maybe 30 times on this. Let's go ahead and gander back. You can see I ran. Oh, we're scrolling. So there's one. So let's look at this one that didn't work, for example. And I don't remember why this one didn't work right, so we'll ride along together. But this is the entry point I went with. Really, it can go either direction. But notice the big thing here that right there, that's the fail. And what the fail was is modeling the queen walk where I didn't ever get under a fire of 3, forcing the ability or rage, at least on that side. I mean, I didn't get a high value. I mean, raging to get the queen or king down is okay. But you'll see one of the key points of this style that you'll see repeated is the jumping, using this aspect of the base because there's an inherent pathing that kind of goes with it to jump in and take the mid. Is part of the right answer, but starting your queen walk where you're under fire by 3, wrong answer. And I think actually, like, if I would have been more patient or more risky, I might have just let it run. Let's look real quick. Could I have let? Would she have survived? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so it was necessary to do it. So now we know. Now we know we don't want to put her under that kind of pressure. And we don't want to use a rage that early because that's kind of not a good value point for the rage at that point. So model your entry point, your starting point for your Queen Warden, where you can kind of not have to be using a rage unless it's for the queen. Let's take a look at another one that didn't work. Maybe this guy. Kind of see it, and then I'll show you some of the same flows where it's working and kind of talk about the parts that are working. So again, the same opening. Notice how now I'm only under fire by 2. These guys, I'm not getting this guy engaged. Started a little more left in this case. And then the walk proceeds to go this direction. And I've done it both directions. But in this case, I am getting shot by the queen. So I use the rage. I could have cast that a little more forward to get more value in terms of time. You know, burn down those buildings faster so at the end of the attack I'm not out of time. But not bad. And so now I'm moving along. And now the really core of the attack, this phase, is where I think you got to be thinking. It's like as you enter this point, wait for or know when you're going to be engaging in long range mortar type activity or whiz tower, and then as soon as that fires, or if you have an opening, you drop your wall breakers first. And this is important because this mix right now is it's sitting at 130, 70 for the healers and 50 for the 2 royals on the floor. You drop 5 wall breakers, that brings you to 140, and then if you drop another royal, it'll actually take you over the top. It'll make sure that what is targeted is your royal. So at that point, the next thing right after the wall breakers, be it if it went this way or went the other way, is the king would drop in the run forward, and he would then haul butt around the side here. Let's see if that actually happens. So there's the wall breakers, but notice what I did wrong, right? So guess where the eagle's going to fire? On my core team, and now they're nicked up. Not a good start, right? The king's doing his thing. I'm out. The things are down. The jump's in the right place. but I got a little bit more nicked up than I wanted to be. And I didn't want to have to rush it as much. So it actually ends up being closer than you would think, right? The queen kind of pushes through. And I'm finding that the second jump on this attack actually isn't really helping me, so I might recommend toggling to a freeze and use that for the backside inferno instead. So toggling out one of the jumps, because I didn't even use the second one, might not be a bad plan. And I actually do that in the results that I'll show you. Is there any other misses that I want to show? Slim Shady. And the answer is no. So let's take a look at some of the successful ones. And we'll just do the last one. Let's do the last one. Feel the flow. Feel the rhythm. Feel the beat. Jamaican bobsled team, for those of you that weren't catching the reference. But anyway, here we go. Again, this one's going to flow towards the queen. We've got the nice flow, but note this time I think I actually do a better job. See, king first, then giants, then bowlers. That's the right flow right there. And I think that's independent of base. So like that flow in terms of with a mass bowler type action like this, that series right there is what you want to see. Because we'll come in, it'll let you delay your rage to more deep in the base and your tome. And then you kind of push through, and the queen actually hops in the middle and does some damage. And see, this is where I could, without that jump really didn't do me any value, right? I could have done much better with a freeze on that, right? So I think maybe swapping for a freeze will help, but you'll see we'll power around this anyway. Choo-choo. Here they come and barely make it. Now, if these were both on multi, I might actually try to have the king go in with the rest and not do a king sweep forward, or have him kick in where he jumps in with him. And that's just a slight change of position of where you drop the king relative to where the wall breaker hole is. But let's see if I can get one that shows it the other direction. And then maybe I'll pause and fire up a freeze and see if I can give you a freeze example, see if it feels better. Was this the one? I think, let's try this one. See if it goes the right direction. Chop, 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 chop. Nope, that totally is going to go the wrong direction. Nope, it is going right. So here you go. So there's the wall break in. So again, notice how I waited till I had the mortar fire done. I raged early with this because I was worried about the health of the unit. And actually that might help. So there was another debate I was having about raging earlier with the first rage to get the bowlers into this position. So let's see how it flows out. Because once they're there, then I do the rage for the mid. I have one more rage for the mid, and there's that team. And so really, maybe that is true. Maybe more of a rage earlier would help out. Again, trying to get the jump to help the guys get out of mid, but really that didn't matter. I think a freeze would be better. Yeah. And this one was actually the strongest finish. This is one of my better finishes. So let me try. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to try one with just the freeze, dropping one of the jumps, and I'm going to try a little rage earlier. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. I have tried it out. Here we go. Let's take a look at the replay. So I dropped for the rage, or dropped the jump for the freeze, and it actually works out, as you saw. Let's just do 4 times speed, and then I'll close on the thing. So we had, again, the sweep out towards the queen, so I rage in. Nice rage placement. Notice how that keeps the queen in the rage. I kind of purposely cast it a little bit back as far as I could because I wanted her to burn through the buildings because it helps me with time. And then once I get the bomb locked, I'm going with the wall breakers in. So everything's flowing to plan. There's the king. There's the giants. There's the bowlers. Everything's good. Now look here. We have a little bit of an issue. I might have gone a little too quick on my back team. I didn't let my king get through. So I'm going to potentially lose some of my guys to the edge. I've got a weakness in effect on the breach point. Less bowlers, but still the classic 1 poison. Then we're going to jump in and rage the mid. And we're not going to use our rage on that. Now, if that was a multi, I would probably I don't know if I would or wouldn't because it's not clearing the gap. I guess I'd let him die. Because what we really need to do is we need to use that when I get close If it was on multi, I'd freeze it then to keep the bowlers alive. It's on single, you wait to let them protect the royals and carry through. But you can see it really forgave a lot of the issues I had early, specifically with so many bowlers going wide. So I do think that probably is a little better mix. But you can kind of tweak it a little bit based on what you're worried about. Either way, there you go. A very popular internet base. Hamstrung. Broken down. High five to myself. Talk to you guys later. What am I going to do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. JTJU. What? I like Rhyhorn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.